G'day everyone, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'll be Nat, this will be my Knackers Yard. It's been a quiet one this weekend on the old bikes, predominantly for two reasons. One, the weather's been horrendous, absolutely awful. I mean, it's literally just stopped raining for the first time this weekend, really. Also, they're digging up my road. They are replacing the gas pipes. So there is, a hole like that on the pavement every, you can see one big one with all the stuff there, 2, 3, every sort of, probably about 10 metres. And frankly, I haven't really wanted to be out here while it stunk of gas while they were doing it. Well, they've just dug the holes, they haven't done the work yet. But for one, it was pissing down. For two, stunk of gas. Didn't really want to be going around making sparks in the back garden, or in the shed. Which I'm sure you could acknowledge. Also other things like taking Christmas decorations down, things like that. But I've got a few minutes now. I thought I'd have a go on the diagnostic software. So as far as Shiver's concerned, as far as Phoenix is concerned, it's running badly. It's running. The clutch is rattling like a bastard. They do rattle on this, but I haven't even looked at it yet. But I will. They do suffer from clutch rattle, but there's a lot of rattle on this. But anyway, that's something. But now I've confirmed that the exhaust is pretty much the exhaust is sealed. And it wasn't before. It was absolutely porous. Holes everywhere. So I know that's sorted. I know the injectors are working. I know that ECU works both sparks, whereas the other one at least appeared not to. I now thought I could have a bit of a piss around with the software and see what it says. So I'm going to whip the seat off, get it all plugged in, and then drag it back in. That's a setup as before. 3 pins into the diagnostic port, positive, negative onto the correct ports on the ports, terminals on the battery, and I've just got you set up down here, mostly because it's the wife's laptop and it's got a screen burn on it, but it doesn't mean she wants me to drop it. So let's just see what we've got, shall we? Let's just put that up on that side. It's out of the way, isn't it? And I can move you across a little bit. There we go. There we go. It's about as good as we're going to get. Right, so it's as much about remembering what to do as anything else. So file, connect, switch on the ignition, let the bike do its thing. Don't start it as yet. Press OK. And we're in. It's all air temperature's 5 degrees. It's probably not about right. Not far off. Engine 6. Right, so that's all the settings. Now let's see if I can remember how to do the one issue with having me there is I've now got to work around you, which is a pain, but we'll make it work. Right, let's try. See if I remember. Why aren't you reading the... that'd be why. Right, faults. No faults, no store faults. Right. So, I need to look these up and I'll do that on time, but let's have a look at what we got. 1706, no signal. To low, as opposed to too low. I wonder if that's a typo. Cylinder air pressure. Rear throttle position. Now I remember seeing something on doing a throttle test, but I've got that on screen so I can clear those. Oh look, it's fixed it all. Right, that's throttle self-learning. My rev counter doesn't work. No, it just made noises on the bikes, but it hasn't actually done anything. Throttle self-learning. Let's see if that'll sort itself out a little bit. Okay. I don't want to go ignition off. Ah, oh well. It wants to. Let's give it a run. With it on and see if it generates any faults and issues. Oh, fuck off. Right. So engine temperature's warming up. I'm going to have to move you across a bit. So it's reading revs, it's just not getting to the rev meter. This is just, you know, stuff to tell me. Watch the engine temperature go up, let the fan kick off and see if that sort of learns to remap the ECU. I'm just going to have a fuck around on this while it's doing it basically. Okay. So say the status of the side stand is actually a binary 1-0 on off. It's on at the moment. status fan, fan's on. Just let that go through a cycle, drop it off. The engine is actually cooling, which is nice. Watching the status fan, it broke in at about 101 last time. There we go. It's back to a 1. It's to 102. That's fucking hot. That's really hot. Just watch that engine temperature drop down to high 90s, which seems to be where this bike's happy. It's a hatchback. Let that fan run off again. And then shut it down. Now I wonder if just letting it run like that has thrown up any of those errors again. What do I see them under? Is it ECU? Few faults it was, wasn't it? Hello. Turning it bloody bike off, haven't I? Right, so 23 degrees now. This bike's really warmed up the garage. Engine temperature 1. Engine temperature 2. Alright. So it hasn't generated any new faults, which I suppose it hasn't moved is a logical thing. So I've got blank and blank. I've got those faults from earlier that I'll look up on the vid and have a bit of a peruse over. And let's just make a little bit of noise and see if it's made any. Doesn't feel like it's bogging as much as it did before. It does when it comes down from high rev zone. It's catching itself though, it wasn't doing that before. Bit of a backfire. I'll look at some of the readings while I do that. I suppose more of a vid for me than for thee. so that I've got my settings set so that I can, let me pan you back out, there we go, so that I can give it a, well, not a thrash, take it up and down the hill and just see whether it doesn't. It's not far enough, it's not. I think I'm going to try and sort those brakes out. Again, they've been cleaned twice well, but I just think, is it the seals? Probably is the seals. I probably need to pop it in. I'll redo the front brakes because that's what's binding, and then see how that, if that means that I can move it up and down the hill without setting light to the brakes, then that's got to be good. See if I can generate some faults. At the moment, that is an MOT failure on the brakes because they're binding. I think I could try and squeeze it through an MOT. It's going to need a new tyre before it gets anywhere near an MOT because that's way low. Way low. I know there's Jai-Ho, isn't it? Yeah, so maybe a new tyre, sort out the front brakes, and see how I go for that. I'm going to have to put the bits back on. To do that, I don't really want to put the bits back on until I've at least had a look at the rev counter. In fact, I'm going to have a quick look now and see if I can spot anything obvious. Okay, that's a weird one. So the headlight, I'm just kind of digging around at the front, see if I can find a loose cable or something. The headlight with the horrendous botch fix, because that wasn't there at all. I did that ages ago. It's got two like side lights, if you like. Ugh. One where my thumb is and another one here. That one's never worked, so I just thought, oh, I'll have a look. It's got like a rubber cap over the top. And the bulb was just full. It was just stashed down the bottom. So I was expecting to change the bulb. It's there. It's just in the wrong place. So unlike everything else on this bike, that was a nice, quick, simple fix. I just need to poke it back through that hole. Right, this bike's fucking me over massively. So back on, I'm all plugged in. I've made sure everything's good. That front cowling is a bitch to get on and off. It's easier when it's got the proper bracket, but because I've had to bodge one there, it's a ball's ache to get on and off. Everything back on. Lights are good, both sides. See, it's not going to run. Now, got no fucking speedo. Now, because there's no speedo, I get no start attempt at all. Check the fuses. That's how I've checked the fuses. Well, I've checked all the minor fuses. Work that off. Just resting you there. That's the only fuse I haven't tested, but you can see that's fine. I think that's a rubber housing, so that's a spare. No reaction at all when that's out. Now that's in. Yeah, I've got no dash. I don't even have indicators. I've hit some security issue, I think. Now I was confused when the ECU swap worked with it. I've got a horrible feeling that now I've unplugged it, it's reset it, so I'm going to have to swap over to the ECU. Oh, fuck knows. I don't know, and I can't be arsed at the moment either. I'm just going to push this down here and set light to it. Obviously I'm not, it's just fucking irritating me again. But we'll see. I may just flog it on as an ongoing project for somebody just to get it out of the way, because it's just breaking me. Fuck it. Right, that'll do for another one. Cheers all. I'll catch you later on. Ta-da.